Ineffectual Gamer. And I should be live now. I don't understand why. So just give me a second. I don't know if I've made a mistake. What have I done wrong? Ay. Well, it says I'm live. One day ago. Okay, I think it's live. Is it live? Okay, I'm guessing it is. Okay, so hello. Sorry, I've finally got off that screen 1 minute into the stream, but I was wanting to make sure that everything was right. Let me just go into the live bits, make sure. Let me just check 1 second. Right, okay, so yeah, I've noticed it is now. Probably pouring a whiskey in baby's bottle. No whiskey. I have a cup of tea. A cold cup of tea. Here. And thank you for dropping in early, by the way, Malcolm and Elazgar. Thank you very much, so. So, right, that's up and running, so that's fine. I'm just going to go to Restream Chat, because it's easier for me to read it when it's in Restream Chat. So, there was a few things I wanted to do before I streamed tonight, but I didn't get a chance to do it, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do the stream the way I wanted to. But it's not the end of the world. I hope this doesn't come unplugged. I'm pulling all these wires here because I didn't have everything in position. So yeah, I'm keeping it simple tonight, if possible. So Restream Chat, okay, that's up and running. Just going to do a test. Make sure that's connected. Yeah, that went through straight away, which is good. We're live on all platforms. That looks good. Yep, okay. So I think that's fixed it. So let's have a look. Let's see what we're doing. So I know I finished off with the landing challenge last night, the other night, sorry. I was a bit tipsy. So I still made the landing. I remember the first one was better than the third one. Can't win everything. But I'm trying to keep the microphone as close to my mouth as I can at the moment, because I seem to have lost some mic strength, I guess is the best word. And I ran a thing on my computer the other day, and what it was some applications are trying to take over my mic. Allow access to the microphone. No. So if you allow access, people using this device. No, that's fine. I don't know. I'll do it another time. Choose which microphone can access your microphone. Okay, could be that. I don't know what was messing with it, but something was messing with it anyway. So I'm just going to close this. You've all stopped talking now that I've gone live. What's wrong with you? Fucking with me. Right. So take off the enable preview to save ourselves a little bit of extra frames. I'm going to just make sure that OBS gets full priority as well. That's really important that OBS gets full priority. Must be in that one. Ah, yeah, it is. OBS. Priority. Right, now I'm going to stop this one. Right. So, let's go in game now. And now let's go to the world map. So, I think I'm going to keep it in North America today, but I'm going to do a day flight, and I was thinking about going somewhere up in the Washington area. So maybe even Alaska. Do you think we could go like Alaska? In fact, I forgot where Alaska is now. It's up here, isn't it? It's wherever America meets Russia. There we go. Yeah, it must be up here. Is it that far up? It is. It's over here. For God's sake. I got it right eventually. Okay, so I wouldn't mind doing some island hops there. Can you see? I've shown this before. I know it's like, but it is the most ridiculous thing. I don't know if it's this one. Let's have a look. I'll just see what it's... I think it's that one. This is the US and this is Russia. That's how close the two of them are. Crazy. Crazy when you know it. It really is. So I think what we might do is we'll go from... I think today we'll go from Seattle to... Might do Seattle to Portland, I think. Have I done Seattle, Portland before? Honestly don't know. Anyway. But we might fly around the Space Needle and stuff beforehand. Okay, so set as departure. I'm going to put Portland as... Portland as the destination. Oh, that's really weird. So Portland International. There we go. This is making Ellisgar go into a sweat now. we're going from Seattle to Portland. It's a beautiful area. Can't deny it. But we don't know what the weather's going to be like yet, so we'll have to see. So we're runway 16 departure. Oh, runway 16 left departure. Sorry. So let's see what we get with some of these departures. Oh, that's a good one. Not that we're actually going to be departing like that anyway, because we're actually going to head towards Seattle. I want to have a look at the Space Needle and stuff, because luckily Seattle's one of the airports that has one of the places that has a really good 20 left. I'm going to try the ILS today because the RNAV didn't work the other day, so yeah, looks about right. Okay, and just wondering if there's any kind of interesting places we should be flying over. There are some crazy good mountains around Seattle, but anyway, we'll do that for starties, and then we'll fly on the former chat. You're supposed to write that in the chat, Ellisgar. Right, so and there we go, TBM. Okay, everything's back in normal mode. Is Malcolm still around, Malcolm? Right, okay, so press the fly button. So it'll take a while to load up, because this game's getting slower to load up these days. Just drinking tea tonight. I might have a Guinness before bed, but I've promised myself no liquor tonight. I said before I didn't want to get too drunk in all my streams sometimes, like I want to try and enjoy some nights, but we'll see. We'll see. And Ellisgar's going to join me in one flight at some point, aren't you, Ellisgar? As you were saying earlier. I thought you'd have got this by now, Malcolm. I thought we'd have been able to lure you in, but I know that, yeah, I know that, if there's not enough killy going on. I wonder if they'll eventually bring fighter jets into the game and things like missiles. I'm guessing the missiles and stuff, you're going into a whole different thing of physics, aren't you? As to whether it would work or not. Might change it up with the planes a little bit later as well. I'm just going to use this flight as kind of a starter flight, test flight, just make sure that I feel comfortable. I don't think it's that far from Seattle to Washington, particularly in this plane. And then maybe we'll go with a Cessna or something. Hey Jack, how's it going? Yeah, do you know, the funny thing is, Jack, sometimes I've actually started a stream thinking, oh, that Jack will like this one, and then you never come in. And then I don't think about it, and then you pop in. So... it's one of those things, like a lottery, isn't it? So in this game around Christmas, I am going to do a tour of the distilleries in Scotland, if anybody's interested in joining that stream. So I'm actually going to fly around in an Icon, around the Scottish Highlands, and we're gonna have a look at some of the distilleries and how they are depicted in the game. I am looking at actually learning myself how to mod the game a little bit, so if I get good at that, or if I can work it out, I might put some of my own in there. We'll have to see. But this game, I mean, some of the mods for this are unbelievable. I'm going to do a tour of Utah at some point because I've downloaded some mods for Utah that put in all the different canyons, and even somebody's done Monument Park, is it? I've forgotten its name now. Where all the John Wayne films were done. Monument Valley, not Monument Park, Monument Valley. Somebody's put that in. All looks great. Long load times. I'll get my page from the other night for my minimums.
Seattle Tower,
okay.
Ineffectual Gamer 907
But
at
Seattle
runway
is
16 left, ready for
city.
takeoff IFR to Portland.
Big city.
Ineffectual Gamer 907 cleared for takeoff runway 16 left.
Oh! I didn't choose a parking spot,
Cleared
did
for
I?
takeoff runway 16 left, Ineffectual Gamer 907.
That's not good. Okay. Shut your face.
Oral warning, okay.
Oh, this is... I hate this, but I'm not reloading it. Oh, what an idiot. I didn't pick a parking spot. Right. Okay, so he's already done the comms. So there's not much point in actually turning him off, but anyway. ATC, let's have a look at what they've got us. The AI. ATC. Let's see what they've got us down for, and we'll go via whatever they say. So, ATC. 7,000 feet is the first one, so I'm just going to set that way. I'm setting it that way. The clicks have gone, but I don't know if that's because of the headphone thing I'm doing now. Clearance to 7,000. Okay, we'll do that at 1,700 feet per minute. Right, got that. We'll click the nav button this time, which we didn't click last time. It's caused some of our problems. So, but the basic basic autopilot set up. It's already switched on. All of these should pretty much be set into the right way. Just turn the panels up a little bit. All our lights are on. Make sure the barometric pressure's set right. Okay, and there we go. It's not your fault, Jack, don't worry. It just is what it is, isn't it? You just sometimes... I know, sometimes I'll be streaming something, I think, oh, you know, so-and-so like this, or whatnot, but it's how it is sometimes. Right, so... let's have a look. We'll go have a look at downtown Seattle at low speed. So get that off. Parking brakes off, and we can get going. So we've got flap configuration because we're already at the runway. Okie dokie. I forgot my. Nope, one more. Take off. Speed bugs. Okay, it's really strange because there's only 20 knots difference between the rotation speed and takeoff speed. It's a bit... okay, we can go. Okay, engines look good. rotate. Did they even have to rotate there? V2. Flaps up. Now normally you'd fly the end of the runway, that's kind of the thing that you're supposed to do. We're not going to bother doing that. I'm going to try and work out where downtown Seattle is now, because I actually have no idea where downtown
Ineffectual
Seattle
Gamer Niner, 7 contact Seattle departure on 123.9er.
There's Mount Rainier. As huge as it is. I'm guessing that's downtown because there's like a big thing sticking out, so. But
Ineffectual Gamer Niner, 7, did you copy?
oh, shut up. Let him take over it.
Going to 123.9er, Ineffectual Gamer Niner 7. Seattle
Okay, so
departure,
I think I
Ineffectual
see
Gamer Niner 7 is climbing
Seattle
through
off my
2,200
left wing
feet
there.
for 7,000 feet.
But I don't actually know if
Ineffectual
that's
Gamer
Seattle.
Niner, 7 Seattle departure. Continue as planned.
No,
Altimeter
it should
29er
show
decimal niner
up.
2.
I don't want that nose to be going too far down. Let's try and see if I can see it on my map there actually. Burien, Mercer Island. No, doesn't actually say where Seattle is. Listen for gunshots at all. Can you let me concentrate for 2 minutes? Right. I'm guessing that's downtown Seattle, down there. That would be my supposition, so we're actually speeding for our flats, but we took them up actually. Forgot I took taken them up there. So we'll take off the engine a little bit. I don't know why we're pointing up, because I haven't got anything set. So this should not be pointing up like that. The engine's not strong enough, so I don't know if that's just an issue with the expected autopilot stuff. We'll see. Let's have a look at Seattle. So it's not looking too bad from up here. Again, I shouldn't be climbing here, I need to be... Yeah, that's downtown Seattle. What I did want to do, as long as it doesn't go into some weird climb...
Ineffectual Gamer Niner, 7 please expedite your climb to 7,000 feet.
So I knew she was going to start this. I'm just putting in the weather now, so the weather's going to appear probably 20-30 seconds. So my supposition is it's like a hill right dead in front of me. I'm supposing that's the counterbalance. Oh, there you go, the weather's kicked in. This is real world weather, just so you know. So I'm guessing that's the counterbalance. If you've ever watched Frasier, that would be where his apartment block was, although his apartment block doesn't actually exist. In reality, the Elliott Bay Towers. But if we go past the counterbalance here, the idea is that this kind of
Ineffectual Gamer Niner,
Shut
7
up.
please expedite your climb to 7,000 feet.
I hope she doesn't start ignoring me, because sometimes the idea is that this block of flats here would kind of be his. I think the red one. That's what the producer said. But in reality, there isn't. The counterbalance doesn't show the city skyline in the same way that it was shown from his front room, or his living room window. Taking ground fire. Can you see the Space Needle? I thought the Space Needle was in downtown. flying over and we can't see the one thing. There's CenturyLink Field, the football stadium. Where the hell's the frickin' Space Needle? Oh, is it hidden? Okay, it's hidden. This is hard to fly low and not kill the frame rates totally off. And try and do it in a bit of style. There's a Space Needle.
Ineffectual, number 9er. 7, please expedite your climb to 7,000 feet.
Next to it, I think we can see the soccer stadium. I think it's a soccer stadium. I'm not sure. I don't know exactly. No, it can't be the soccer stadium. You wouldn't find a sports stadium in that type of location. It must be like a museum, probably a museum of some type. So there's the Seattle Space Needle. Just like the trailers. Okay, and now we're going to head off to Portland. Okay, so I'm going to give her a bit more feather. I'm going to flatten her out, and then I'll let the autopilot take over. There we go. Put the yaw damper on. Okay. It's going to take me way out to the left and then back out to the right now, because this is how it works, but it's kind of how it is. But we're now climbing. We should take a left at some point now, right, sorry, at some point. There we go. Just going to load up my map. I'll move this way. You can't see it, but I can. And so, current time is 11 minutes past 7. And it's, hang on, that can't be right. Have I set that wrong? Certain estimated time arrival at 19 minutes past. Can't imagine it's that quick. Just see how far it is. No, we're not arriving that fast. Quite a big distance actually. I didn't realise Portland was that far. So this weather is cracking. I'm enjoying this. I love these these weather conditions where this weather injector, it puts low cloud. You can see really low cloud here, and then but it's really sparse, and then nicer cloud higher up. It's better than any of the in-game weather. It's better than what the in-game weather sets, for whatever reason. I don't know why, because the weather was supposed to be one of the big selling points of the game. And they still, as far as I'm aware, they haven't made the weather fully available for people to tinker with. There's only certain parts of it that you can tinker with. So I don't know if weather's going to be one of their updates, but as we're going to be flying through this crowd, but you can see there's a strong sun. So we should be on the vitamin D side of the clouds at some point soon. So it's always cool to go through them. Yeah, now you'll notice the sound of the engines is much different from my usual stream. In fact, when I go outside, it's much louder. That's intentional. Now, I was talking in the last stream that I did with Microsoft Flight Simulator, I was talking about an app that I expected to come out at some time, which allows you to kind of run a business through the game as an app. That is coming, but it's been priced at €41, which is basically the developers. I know the developers are, and they're having people's eyes out. I'm not happy about the price of it. I think we should see this icing disappear off the windows anytime soon. No, I'll actually zoom in a little bit so you can see the...
Ineffectual, number 907 climb and maintain 13,000 feet.
So let's go to 13,000.
Climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Ineffectual Gamer 907.
Yeah, press the wrong button there. She said 13,000, didn't she? I can't see. Not exactly what height we're going to get given to, but 13,000. There we go, 13,000 feet. And I did actually intend, again, I was a little bit late when I set the stream to when I actually started streaming. I was a little bit late, so I ended up with the anti-frame de-ice, and we might get a bit of heat going inside the cabinet. It seems like it might be a bit warm, so we're going to have it for everybody. I'm going to turn the fans up a little bit. We'll have hot airflow, I think somewhere in the middle, because we want everybody in the back to be nice and snug. Oh, this is this issue I'm having with the... What do you think?
Ineffectual Gamer 907, contact Seattle Center on
That's why I need to get used to
128.5.
rolling it rather than clicking on it. The whole click sticking.
128.5. Ineffectual Gamer 907.
Let's have a quick look outside.
Seattle Center. Ineffectual Gamer 907 is at 8,800 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Ineffectual Gamer 907, Seattle Center, continue as planned. Altimeter 3.0.45.
Too bad. So you kind of got weird clearing skies here, but they're not exactly clear.
Ineffectual Gamer 907, climb and maintain flight level 180.
180. Okay, so
Climb and maintain flight level 180. Ineffectual Gamer 907.
so we've been given permission to go higher way before we'd reached it, which is unusual. Yeah, we've got a good climb rate. We're coming out of the clouds now. At 180. And you can see blue skies above us. Lovely blue skies, clear blue skies. And that's at what, 10,000 feet? So it's very low cloud today. Blue sky above us, so we should be flying with our should really be flying with our spectacles on, and we're going to get that, or we should get that nice view of the cloud below us once we've fully broken through and got settled. So now that we're going up, we can turn off all of these, and we just need our visual approach speed, which currently is 85, but I can actually change this, and I didn't know I could change this. So that's going to be changed to 80, because that's what the official approach speed is, I think. So 85 is not bad. I think I tried to land the other day in 85, so there you see, we're coming above the clouds now. Now my cloud rendering is turned down a little bit, just to save some frame rate, so the clouds don't always look great. But yeah, don't care. I don't care, because I need to save frame rates wherever possible. I think, yeah, we can turn the inertial separator off, because we don't even need that on. So we can also now click the barometric pressure, so it changes to our actual altitude, which is 13,000 now, and we can bring the landing lights to the full off position. Turn off. So we'll turn on the pulse. Right, just in case. And I'm loving this, like a wind sound. Can you hear that? It's great. I love it. Look at that. But I'm loving that wind noise. It's making me a bit chilly here. Yeah, That seems much better for you guys and gals now.
Ineffectual Niner.
We're talking a little bit.
Contact Seattle Center on 126.6.
So we're at 16,000 feet. I'm just going to pull back on the
Going to
throttle.
126.6 Ineffectual Gamer 907.
Chugging out a little bit too
Seattle
much there.
Center Ineffectual Gamer 907 is at 16,500 feet climbing flight level 180.
So these are all the villages. I've actually got like
Ineffectual Algebra 907
close to
Seattle
Colma.
Center continue to alter as planned. Altimeter 30.42.
So I did this on purpose so I could actually see some of the names of places, because you got like a Fife here for all you Scotties. There's a Fife here. Is there a place called Spanaway in Scotland? Sounds like a possible Bonny Lake. Bonny, you know where that's come from. So there must have been a fair few Scottish settlers up in this area. And look at the mountains sticking out the top of the clouds. How cool is that? Let's see if we can't get a better look view of that. How cool is that? That's good. I like
Ineffectual
it.
Algebra 907 climb and maintain flight level 280.
Climb and maintain flight level 280 Ineffectual Gamer 907.
I don't like that jerk that it does. It shouldn't do that. The autopilot wouldn't do that. 280, I think he said. But again, it's always a bit iffy. But I don't mind that little bounce. You can do a flight level change, but I can't always get it to kick in on this plane. So I don't use it as much. In actuality, I might try it now. It's going to work now, just to prove me wrong. So when you click that flight level change button, what it should do is take you up to that flight level, down to that flight level, at its own rate, based on the speed and stuff like that. So it's supposed to make it like a smoother transition. But I think when you, I don't know whether it's just because I've flown on too many Ryanair flights. I kind of want my transitions to be faster, so that I'm not travelling a longer distance. Because I see this, it's 1,100 feet a a minute, whereas I feel we should be doing faster. Just right on the edge of the talk there, so just put that off a little bit. Let's talk it back up again. So we're going to get pretty high above the clouds here. In fact, you know what, I really do want to go with that one, so I'll turn the vertical speed up to 1,700. I just feel much more comfortable doing it that way. And I guess it's all, you know, it's each to his own and everything, isn't it? I don't know if you actually if you would have to know these if I would change regardless. I love the fact that you can see the mountain top there. There's one in the distance there as well. A bit of a break in the clouds coming up. I'm just going to check that on my weather app to see whether there's light. No, it's overcast there. So I'd love to be able to see further ahead in the weather, but this thing doesn't allow it yet, unfortunately. The coldest it's going to get outside will be about 48 degrees, minus 48 degrees. That's Celsius, not Fahrenheit. You Yanks will have to do your own calculating. Yeah, that's definitely a peak. Mountain peak. Oh, still talking it. How am I managing to talk it so badly? Okay, so we're about a quarter of the way there. Or a third, if you were taking into consideration we flew from the centre of Seattle and not from directly from the airport, and probably.
Ineffectual altimeter 907, descend and maintain 16,000 feet.
Right, okay, so now I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to go down.
Descend and maintain 16,000 feet. Ineffectual gamer 907.
This is where I want to try the flight level change. If I can. I want to get below mine and then keep on that flight level change, please. What do you say? 16,000. 17. You see how it's not changing at all? And it should. Well, it started now. I'm wondering if actually I have to specifically not be. No, no.
Ineffectual altimeter 907, contact Seattle Center on 124 decimal
So
2.
just go down.
Going to 124 decimal 2. Ineffectual
Oh, it's
gamer
automatically set to
907.
1,700 minus. That's all.
Seattle Center. Ineffectual gamer 907 is out of flight level 230 for 16,000 feet.
Ineffectual altimeter 907, Seattle Center, continue as planned.
Bit of a bumpy ride here, but so we're never going to reach our flight, our highest point there. Definitely got a little bit of turbulence going back down. Doesn't surprise me. A lot of turbulence. Don't mind a bit of turbulence though, myself. I don't. So we're going to... this shows our waypoints as well, which is really cool. Good job the active nav is the FMS, because I forgot to set that earlier. I would have spotted it. Auto bleeds on it. Okay. Have to keep an eye on the speed, because we are... I don't know what our ground speed is, because I haven't got the stream on, so I can't see what the ground stream is. The ground speed is. Yeah, the reason I was late starting the stream earlier is I'd forgotten to change it over in Restream, because my streams come through Restream first, just so it separates and sends them to both Twitch and YouTube together. It's very strange that we've been given permission to actually start descending to 16,000 so early. BTG is 48 nautical miles away, is when we start our inbound for the ILS landing, but yeah, okay, 47 isn't that far, but we're at 18,900 already. Oh, I didn't realise that the weather left them. Oh, it must have been a sudden change, that, because the mountain's there, so it's a bit disappointing that it makes that sudden change, because one of the whole points of this app is that it's supposed to transition. But again, I don't know if it's just because this is a beautiful area, just because Microsoft haven't opened the game up fully for that part of modding yet. Ground looks a bit patchy, I don't know why. I don't know if that's that's indicative of something. Well, sometimes hilltops do look like that, to be honest. The highest points of the hills, normally the grass gets drier and whatnot. Happens where I live. So yeah, I was saying about keeping an eye on the speed, because if you look, we're really approaching like we're really approaching our maximum here, and we don't want to be going into this zone, so we'll probably slow down a bit now as we level off. It's nice and bumpy. I haven't had too many choppy flights. We'll see what it's like coming into land. And then the next flight, I don't know where we could go in the next flight. If there's anywhere you particularly want to look at, the only thing I really don't want to look at is things like the pyramids, simply because there's videos out there already and it's planned sometime in a future stream.
Ineffectual altimeter 907, descend
But
and
if
maintain
this-
10,000 feet.
Okay, if there's somewhere you genuinely want to look
Descend
at.
and maintain 10,000 feet. Ineffectual Gamer 907.
Over. I am going to button bind these. I'll actually do it before the next flight because if I've got them button binded here, I'm going to feel much more comfortable using them because I just don't know which one to use. I could use those buttons or even those buttons. 1, 2, 3. I won't use them for anything. Could have nav, vertical speed. Nav, vertical speed, and yaw damper maybe. So yeah, sometimes that transition's just a bit too harsh for my liking. I'd like it to be a little bit more softer. Because it says here that the weather conditions are totally clear. But of course you don't go from dense overcast to totally clear that easily. So I don't know exactly how this weather thing works, but it doesn't, I don't think it works to perfection personally. There's a ton of mountains in this area, like real mountains as well. When I say real mountains, I always mean like something monolithic in size. So, yeah, in 28 nautical miles we will be making a left turn. And then we will make a steady right turn as we line up for the ILS runway 10 left, I think it was. I haven't got my runway sheet. Yes, I have. Let's have a look. See if my memory's working well enough. Because I know roughly the angle of landing. Might be down there. No, you wouldn't. Oh, did I take off from 10 left? So if we're coming into land there, yeah, it should be around there then. No, it's not 10 left. I don't know what it is. Tell us when we get there. I thought it was 10 left. In the Yukon, I was actually considering to.
Ineffectual altimeter 907, contact Portland approach on 126.9er.
I was actually
126.9er.
planning on doing that, Eldscar, but as a Discovery Series stream.
Portland approach Ineffectual Gamer
One of the reasons I want to download a couple of mods
feet, descending
and get them
10,000
installed
feet.
first.
Ineffectual Gamer
So I will do
907,
that.
Portland approach, continue to
And I
follow
want to do it a
Tango
bit more
Golf
nearer
as planned.
Christmas when it's snowing.
Altimeter 30
So I don't
40.
fly in the snow really at the moment, but I would like to do a couple of flights in the snow. So I won't do it now because it'll be a good stream when we do it. In fact, you should join in that one. I'll get a flight path, flight plan sorted out.
Ineffectual Gamer 907, descend and maintain 5,900 feet.
You say
Descend and
5,000
maintain
miles.
5,900 feet. Ineffectual Gamer 907.
Bloody hard to read. I don't know if I'm getting old or it's just I think it's the computer. Zoom out a bit too far. 5,900 feet. It's a strange request. 5,900. Ah, because we're going to be higher up here, I think. Well, it's next to a river. I don't know how much higher up we'll be. But yeah, we're not going to be at sea level. So. So apparently 28 left. 28 left, which would be there. Okay, oh no, that's right. So it's 28 left. It is 28 left is what we're landing on. Look at this. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. So cool. What speed are we doing? We're still doing like 247 knots, but that doesn't matter. We've got plenty of space to put ourselves in position. So 11 nautical miles, probably going to be a minute or so when we start making that that left turn. That's going to bring us more or less parallel, perpendicular, parallel, no, parallel to the airport, so I might be able to get a visual on the airport. We'll see. It's on the other, just right on the other side of the river, literally. So it should be, as we make the turn, it should be. I think that's the runway there. I think I just caught a glimpse of the runway. It's probably easy to spot at night, but I have a feeling it's here. But it is literally as we start to make the turn, it'll be straight ahead of us. There's a little island, and then yeah, it's that for sure. That's probably the terminal building roof that we can see there. And you look at the distance and how you can actually see it. That's what really surprises me about this game sometimes. We still get these brilliant views, the mountains and everything. This must be an amazing place to live around. Jeez. Go walking in these hills. You'd always want, personally, I'd always want to climb one of these mountains, but of course, when you talk about mountains that big, you're not climbing those very often. Those things are just they're a different kettle of fish. Okay, so we're going to start making the turn to the left any time now. It's 2 nautical miles out, so. And we're at 5,900, so we're just kind of waiting for more permission to get
Ineffectual
a bit
gamer
lower.
7, you are 12 miles north. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 28 left approach via Reedy transition. Cleared to Reedy.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 28 left approach via Reedy transition. Cleared to Reedy. Ineffectual gamer 907.
It's a nice turn. I mean, it must be, in reality, it must be awesome to look out your window. I've been watching a lot of videos of TBM pilots because I really want to kind of look at how they pilot their planes. And I'm going to be honest with you, in very little time, I feel really comfortable in this plane. When I make mistakes, I generally spot them, unless I've been drinking a lot. But I genuinely do. I feel like I spot them. In the older version of Flight Simulator, I maybe wouldn't have felt so comfortable. And I don't know why it's in this one that I do. I don't know if it's just because I've been watching more videos and maybe paying more attention that way. We can actually afford to pick the speed up a little bit here. We've kind of dropped off a little bit. There's no point in wasting anything. Just wasting time kind of hanging around. 1944 is our estimated arrival time, but I have a feeling that I've got this set up wrong. Ah, no, hang on. 1940, no, 1944. Yeah, I think I've got this part set up wrong. Need to have a look at those settings. So the airport's just over there, so unfortunately can't see it from here. But I will have a quick look outside. Yep, you can see it over there. No, we can't. It's just over here. And that's our runway for landing. We are getting pretty low actually. Lower than I thought. Okay, so we should kind of be starting to make our... I don't know if it's going to take us all the way out to 13 nautical miles and then make the turn, or whether it's going to do it a little bit differently. And it feels really strange just sitting at 5,900 feet, and that's it. Like nothing more, nothing less. Now, the glide slope's popped up. That's good, and hopefully we'll catch the glide slope. The other night with the RNAV approach I tried to grab the glide slope, but we didn't grab it, and I think that's because the ATC brought us in about 1,000 feet too high, I think, so we never grabbed it. Now sometimes you can press the approach button and it will kind of find it and then just follow it when it finds it, but it wouldn't do it the other day with the RNAV approach, so I'm going to try ILS because I think that's how I've done it before. If you're not sure what the glide slope is, it's almost like an auto land, so you're using the autopilot to actually land the plane, so you aren't having to make all the different little changes. All you have to do is control the throttle, and then when you're fully down, take off the autopilot so that you can control the last part of the landing. And it's more quality of life for your passengers than it is anything else. Because I think even drunk I landed the plane really well the other night, so it does seem like it's more of a quality of thing for the passengers. I've watched a few videos of A320s or 737s, and they seem to turn it off quite a lot earlier, but not a ridiculous amount earlier. They normally turn it off at like 600,000 feet. I don't know which mountain that is actually. I don't think I flew over that in that stream we did ages ago. That's a nice view out of that window of the river down there. Any pleasure boats out today? Not by the looks of it. Oh, I can see. No, that's a badly contrived bridge by the looks of it. We've got a little bit of cloud here over the airport. This is very reminiscent of where I live, just different heights, a little bit higher. Very, very, very similar.
Ineffectual Gamer 907 descend and maintain 3,700 feet.
Okay.
Descend and maintain 3,700 feet. Ineffectual Gamer 907.
Say 3,700. I have to zoom in because my eyesight is terrible. Okay, so we're picking up a bit of speed now, so it should bring us in a bit quicker than we were coming in before. I haven't got my minimums or anything, unfortunately, so I'm not sure It was 158 for flaps. Sorry. No. 178 for landing gear, 122 for landing configuration. Okay, so landing gear is... that's for full landing flaps, 122. So it's 178 flaps, 122 full landing. Right, okay. So I'm going to just start bleeding off a little bit of the speed. Just so that we do coming in kind of full landing, like in the correct landing configuration. And I'm going to kind of adjust my view a little bit here just so I can get everything in eye shot. Zoom in one little bit there. So we are just turning onto final now. So really we should be looking to really get ourselves configured here, so I'm going to bleed off as much speed as possible. The airport's somewhere over there, but I don't know exactly where yet, I can't see it.
Ineffectual Gamer 907 descend and maintain 2,900 feet.
Right, this makes it even more difficult now.
Descend and maintain 2,900 feet. Ineffectual Gamer 907.
Oh, I knew it was going to start playing with me here. Right. 2,900. That's not 2,900, that's 2,800. Okay. Okay, I can see the... see the runway and everything. So as we make this final turn here, I think we could have actually waited a bit to bring our landing gear down, but I just want to make sure I'm doing this in as correct a way as possible. So I'm going to continue with this. The glide slope hasn't activated yet, doesn't mean it won't. What are we down to? 122. Okay, so we put the engine up a little bit. Just want to get to that 122. Talk the shit out of it, but which we shouldn't do. Okay, so I'm absolutely sure that the glide slope here should have gone purple by now, but for whatever reason it hasn't, so I still have to read a bit more about doing those landings.
Ineffectual Gamer 907, you are 12 miles southeast of Portland. Contact Portland Tower on 123.775
But definitely should have
when
gone
inbound on the approach.
purple by now. The FMS
Tower on
here is blue as well, which tells me
123.775
that
Ineffectual Gamer 907.
maybe it's not configured
Portland
for that.
Tower Ineffectual Gamer 907, 12 miles southeast inbound ILS runway 28 left approach.
Ineffectual Gamer 907, Portland Tower.
Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to get the red cone here or anything, so I am just going to try and do this myself. Completely by myself.
Cleared ILS runway 28 left approach Ineffectual Gamer 907.
Just going to try and do this totally by myself now. So take off the altitude, because don't need that. We still need the nav, so... 5-degree crosswind here. I'm just gonna there we go, it's coming in now. It has gone green, the thingamajig, so maybe it will catch the guide slope. I honestly don't know. But keep that nose down. If it does, I'll be over the moon. I still need to bleed off a bit, but it's because we're... Oh, shite. Right, yeah, don't want to be, I haven't got my altitude button on, have I? Oh, sorry people in the back, I was adjusting my hand on the joystick there. I hate using the joystick the way I use it. I'm not seeing the glide slope change at all. And the reason it's going up like this is because I've got the autopilot on, I think. Try and keep it in the right, because I wanted to get to the cone the right direction, but it's okay. We'll work it out. And as I said
Ineffectual
before...
Gamer 907, cleared to land runway 28 left. Wind 221 at 8.
I am trying to do things
Cleared
like...
to land runway 28 left, Ineffectual Gamer 907.
That crosswind should be blowing me the other direction, not not the way it's blowing me now. It seems to want to do it in a different way, but whatever. It's going 5 knots from the left, but my plane wants to go to the left, as though there's a crosswind from the right, which is a bit strange. You see it like keeps tipping there. I can't get it to level itself off. Well. Yeah, it really feels like the crosswind is coming from the right, not from the left. That's quite bizarre. And it's really fighting me. If I let go, it's really pushing me over. Oh well, we'll be okay. Oh, do you know what we haven't changed? The proper altitude. Well, I'm guessing the weather app that I've added is actually maybe... No, it should still report the weather correctly. It shouldn't make any kind of false claim. So I need to stop tipping the wings here, like a lot. But as I said, it really feels like there's a crosswind coming from the right. There's really does. Look at it. You can see it wanting to try and roll a bit too much. I don't think it's the joystick position. Could be the way that my autopilot left the plane configured, because if I let it now, this would roll. It would roll to the left completely, like I'm talking literally the plane would roll over. Okay, so we're a little bit too fast here. 92. A couple of my landings recently have been a bit iffy though, so I don't know if there is an issue. Or maybe they've actually fixed it so it's more realistic. Who knows? But look at that. I'm fighting with my joystick here to keep the bloody thing from rolling over to the left. But I noticed this last night, like it's so strange. Right, well. Alright. So now I'm on the ground. The joystick's fine.
Ineffectual gamer 907 exit runway.
That is so bizarre. Can't even do it with my camera. If I could show you what position my hand was just in when I was coming into land there, you'd understand. I had the... If you imagine you're sitting with your joystick, I had the joystick almost all the way to the right, like that, and it twisted. We'll have to see. I'll see if it behaves the same actually with the Cessna or something, because it could be the plane that's behaving like that, and not the...
Turn next taxiway.
Now I'm on the ground, everything's fine, but that did the same not last night, the night before. Kind of did the same. And then there, when I was coming into land, I was kind of losing lift, even though I was coming in at the correct landing configuration. But we'll have to see. We shall have to see. I'll see with the Cessna. We shall see with the Cessna.
Ineffectual gamer 907 exit runway when able.
No, we're not going over there, we're going over here, because that's where the first place it was telling me to go off. I'm not going to continue going down the runway.
Ineffectual gamer 907 contact ground on 132.275.
I really hope that's
Going to
not an issue with the plane.
132.275 Ineffectual gamer
And it is
907.
just me. I don't think... I might actually need to check my joystick configuration as well. I might have to check my joystick configuration. No, but no. Actually, let me do one check here. Because I can do a check here. So the back part is fine. Absolutely fine. Just gonna put my flaps up. Full left, full right, and then if you're kind of just slowly, that's fine. That's fine as well. It's really weird. On the ground, everything seems to work fine. It's exactly where it should be. So, no idea what that could be or why it does that. Okay, let's go to the main menu, and we're going to go with a different plane, because I'm always flying this plane in every single flight. Try and get one with a Garmin 1000. I'm iffy with a Garmin 1000, but I'll give it a whack. I'll give it a whack. So let's pick the airplane first. So what other turboprops have we got? The Beechcraft I hate. That one I'm not a big fan of, just because it's I prefer ones with a kind of slightly better view. See, there's certain things about this, right? So what cheer me up about this game, and that is because here, for example, here this information about the plane is important. So its range, its cruise speed, this is important information, but that's the only information it gives you. But we need more information. You get like weight and balance and stuff like that, but I mean it doesn't give us any other information about the plane. And of course, when you're picking a plane to fly, you want to know the characteristics, like what its takeoff speed is, what its landing speed is. It doesn't give us any of that. And I still don't quite understand why. it doesn't give us that information because. Okay, so I think we're gonna go with this one. Let's see. Oh, it's the only option, and I think we're gonna go somewhere I haven't been in this game at all. So I think we're gonna go from. That's Rio, isn't it? So I wanted to go to Sao Paulo, but I don't know where Sao Paulo is. That's the truth. And the reason I want to go to Sao Paulo, and I'm gonna look it up on my phone, is because it's a massive city. And I wanted to see not just the city, but I actually wanted to see. So it's there with the bump with the island. There with the bump with the island. I love the way I view things. There with the bump with the island. Could be somewhere around here. Oh, it's that part I was actually right next to before. Bump with the island. Yeah, that seems too far up. Yeah, it must be this part. I was down here. Where was I? I'm going to have to have a proper look at it on Google Maps. Okay, so we go there. Alright, so it's not far from Rio actually. Very close to Rio, so we can probably put Rio into it. So we've got the Keith in there. We've got. Should be like a bit sticking out. It must be this part. I think I got it first time. It is. I did get it first time. Okay. So we're gonna go from here, and let's go from a parking. So that's departure. Let's go low altitude airways. Oh, it hasn't given me it yet. Maybe I have to. Okay, so let's go to Rio. Because then we can have a look at Christ the Redeemer and everything. And as long as this is a. No, that looks a shitty airport. Mind you, in this plane we could probably do it. But. Is that an aircraft carrier? I don't know, it seems like that's the strangest kind of looking thing I've seen, but let's go with it for the time being. We'll do low altitude airways. Is it actually low altitude or? Interlagos. I want to go past Interlagos. Interlagos. So I want to go past Interlagos while I'm here. So I need to get the details for Interlagos. I never know exactly how you do this. It's all questions. Maybe I can do it this way. So we have to search in here when we find it. Okay, I've got it. 23. 22. Ah, cripes. I have to do the 23 bloody... No, it should do it, shouldn't it? 23, 42... 4... It's not going to do it, is it? I don't know how to get the little degree thing on it, otherwise I'd have set that. Ah, there is another way of doing it, just give us a second. I'm just going to take a short break, people. Do stick around a second. I'm just going to go to the toilet, because I'm going to have to do a bit of copy and pasting for this one, so it won't be a moment. No, I just went for a quick little break. So, let's have a look. So, right, I need to open up a web thing for this. Surely you can't be serious. Right, Interlagos. Where is it? Right, okay, we've got coordinates here. Fine. Copy, copy. Okay. Put it in there. Let's come up with its own version, which is slightly different, but I'm guessing. Where is that? Okay. Add. So we should be able to add that in. There's a nav aid, and we'll take off and go there. Okay, that's cool. Alright, we'll do it like that. Just for the arrival, I want to check out, although we are going past Christ the Redeemer. What's this one? Oh, that's the main airport. It's 2 right runway, so we'll do 2 right runway. There is an ANOV on it, it's really weird. I don't know. Yeah, so we should see Christ the Redeemer on the approach. Weird. I'm not trusting this, but you know what? I'm gonna go with it. I'm not gonna complain about it. Okay, so we should have a decent flight here, and I will load it in. I think we have to hang on. We have to stop the weather synthesis because we're not there. Okay, and we fly. So let's see if we can get this one right. Gonna look at current weather there actually. So about cloudy, so we might do this without injecting the weather because I wouldn't mind getting a view of what we're supposedly going to look at here. So we'll see on this flight. Now I do know that they were saying that some of the flight conditions and stuff weren't being necessarily done correctly, but that felt really weird, that landing. And the last stream when I was landing, all the approach was fine, and then the last minute just felt like I was fighting too much. That's the best term I can use now. I'm trying sometimes to hold my joystick in a different way. Rather than gripping it, is kind of holding it in my hand at the base and making very slight adjustments. But in those conditions, I couldn't do it, which is why it was bouncing up and down because I kept switching positions with my hand. But we'll see how we go. This one's got the Garmin 1000 in it, I do believe. Now the other plane, the TBM, this has another cool thing which is like an autopilot, but it's not an autopilot. Which it does have a button to basically hold your current position, so that's really cool for not having to adjust the I forgot the name of it now, the thing that changes the attitude. But anyway, so it's a button that you kind of fly along, you find where you want to be, you point the plane in that direction, you press the button, and your plane will just stay at that point. So whatever altitude it is, whatever direction it is, it will. Oh, nice. Well, good job I haven't got collision on, because some of these flights would go nowhere. Now, as you can see, we've got the active stairway there, so that's good. Alan's car is... It's probably Alan's car's fault. It's like this little radio the stairs in. He always has this I'm not guilty look on his face. Right. So let's have a look. So I haven't used this system before. So first thing I'm going to do is turn on these things. Okay.
Clearance delivery Ineffectual Gamer 907 ready to copy IFR clearance to Rio.
Ineffectual Gamer 907 is cleared to Rio Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 9 left climb and maintain 16,000 feet. Departure frequency is 126.15 squawk 2411.
Ineffectual Gamer 907 cleared to Rio Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 9 left climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
Like
Departure on
I've
126.15 squawk 2411.
I have no idea what anything does.
Ineffectual
And
Gamer
because a lot of it's
907
blacked
readback
out,
is correct. Contact ground on 126.9 when ready to taxi.
I can't properly see what stuff is. It's weird. Okay, so I'm just going to look at the ground services a second and see if I can get them to retract. No, the jetway is at its furthest position. So, okay, right. We'll play this by ear at the moment. Okay, so the barometric pressure's there, but it doesn't have a thing to set it automatically, which is strange. There must be one somewhere. That's for the flaps. I don't know what ELT is. That's an alarm. That's good. Okay. So please don't say that's all the controls, all the main controls. No, these must be like lights or something. Oh, this is going to be fun. This hasn't got an autopilot, which I didn't know. It has a flight plan and everything, but it doesn't have. Okay, it doesn't have. Okay, I'm gonna push back because I need to get away from this jetway, and for this thing it won't matter too much for a pushback. Let's go. Who's doing it now? I like how he had a little light that came on there. Oh, and it's animated in the window. That's pretty cool. I might have to change the airplane. Come back and do that. I don't know. No, I'll stick with it. I just don't want to be fighting it all the time. It's my biggest bother. Oh, can he never ever just do this pushback normally? Do we always have to go through this rigmarole? So this hasn't even got the Garmin 1000, but never mind. Doesn't matter. I'll reset him into his position because I really doesn't fully need it. This is a nice cockpit for views, though. Look at that. No space in the back for anything else, but nice views, a nice leather interior as well. So we have, okay, strobe light on, fuel pump on, and then we'll try and get a start. Okay, see what we're doing wrong now. Oh, the trim is like armed. That's weird. Okay. Do we pull the choke out? Maybe... Is there... No, we only have to set one fuel tank. Okay. Shows you how much I know about all this. Propeller. No idea. Well, I've started it. That is a good start. You might not think it is. It's a bloody good start for me. Ah, this is going to end in disaster, this, isn't it? I know it is. I know it's going to disaster. Right, okay, so at least we've got it up and running. Let's go to, I've got the ATC open here, that's the AI. ATC, open the map up. Okay, why the map keeps going over there as well? It's not where I'm leaving it. Okay. So we'll go back to clearance.
Go Rojas ground, Ineffectual Gamer Niner 7 with Oscar ready to taxi IFR.
Probably have a bit more fun in this one, actually.
Ineffectual Gamer Niner 7 taxi to in hold short of runway 9er, left using taxiway Charlie. Contact tower on 13.2.75 when ready.
We'll see. Got my BFM up just so I know roughly where I'm going.
Taxi to and hold short runway
Okay, I'll have a
9er,
quick
left
look to see
via taxiway Charlie, Ineffectual Gamer Niner
Okay,
7.
so we're taxiing off to the left. Okay. And we are not moving. But I've got my parking brake off. There's no reason why I'm not moving. Sure of it. Oh, what's that? I shut it there because I thought that it was that. I've just pressed like a cheat button because I really don't understand why we haven't got going there. Okay, so it's fully stopped. Let's try it again. What is that doing? Let me have a quick look. This shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, that is not what that is set to. Let's have a look. Why are my controls not right? I should have on my keyboard a full engine start. A full engine start with one button. Oh no, that's engine auto stop. Okay, auto start. Put it as number 7. Scan 7. It'll say something else, but I don't care. So I'll validate it. Okay, apply and save. We got everything pulled back, yeah? Alright, okay. So we'll try that again. This is a when all else fails idea, but it looks like everything's kind of set the way it was set before. Nothing looks different. Oh. Left. Right, let's see if we can't get it going again. Don't worry, Brian, it always says I'm playing Division 2. No idea. I'll go back to the main menu because I have no idea why it's not doing what it should be doing. completely lost. But thanks, Brian. Yeah, I can't actually change it. I don't get enough viewers on Twitch half the time anyway. It's only you. Right, so let's try this one more time. But we're gonna have to choose a different one. So we were coming from. We'll just do a regular takeoff here. From here. Says departure. Okay, for safety, I'm going to select this one as the arrival. I'm going to set it as VFR for the time being. And the other thing I wanted to set is so we find Interlagos. So we'll set that in. And add that. Then instead of Christ the Redeemer itself, what I was thinking is kind of adding somewhere around here, if it allows me. It normally does, but now it's not. Well, why would it? So we'll add Christ the Redeemer as well. And then it says runway 28, so why it's pulled us into that. What the hell is that now it's trying to do? Why are all my SIDs and SARs turned up? Again, this is... Why are things changing? All my airspace and navigator off, which they shouldn't be. Close. And it's not even taking that one into consideration, is it? This is ridiculous. So, I have an idea. Take that off. Oh no, okay, so why... Okay, I'm gonna go low altitude airways and see if that does it best. So, we're gonna try that again. Look for that one. Fucking save this. Right, so that. Add that. Don't be doing that shit again. Oh no, it's not okay. Just making sure. Right, so, and then we want to add Christ the Redeemer in as well. So, where it's going to fit that into it, I don't quite know where it's going to try and fit it into the flight. Alright, that's not too bad. Make a turn around Christ the Redeemer. Yeah, make all your jokes like you know any better. Right, so runway 28. Alright, so arrival will be runway 28. Oh no, actually, let's try RNAV 28. Oh, we haven't got an RNAV. Yes, we have. RNAV 28Y. Right, you are still going past Christ the Redeemer, aren't you? No, so we have to add. Oh no, hang on, we are flying past it, are we? No. So, Christ the Redeemer, remove. And then we want to try and add it now, I think. Oh, sod it. We'll be low enough to spot the airport a mile off anyway, right? So we'll do it ourselves. Right, let's get this crap off. 130, right, okay. So I feel the next one it has to be a Cessna, isn't it? I think we're gonna have to go for the Grand Caravan. I hate the Grand Caravan, but it's better than the Skyhawk. The Skyhawk's just a little bit too slow for me, so we'll go for the Caravan. And Brian, why have you put a wheelchair? Because we're going to see Jesus. Right, let's give this a whack. Let's load it up and see what we can get out of it. Hopefully, we are going to take off from the runway, so we should be in takeoff configuration. I might just have to play around with the Garmin a little bit. Yeah, man. Should have done this in the TBM, because I could have shown off the leveling thing and everything and showed you how great that is and flown at low speed. You know, again, take the one you know. Go with the one you know. Don't be giving me ideas, let's go. No, I've always wanted to fly over Sao Paulo because it's supposed to be a massive city. Two cities I've meant to fly over, but I've always wanted to do them in stream. I don't the stuff I want to see I don't want to do outside the stream. So Sao Paulo is one of the cities, and the other one's Mexico City as well. But somebody is making a mod for Mexico City, so I've been holding off. The only one thing I could be thinking with the TBM of why it's acting up is my mod might not be up to date, and if they've changed some of the settings, it might not be lining up with what I'm seeing because the mod adjusts some of those things. So it could be that. Just seems strange that 2 landings in a row. That thing felt like, oh great, I've been switched to a fly mode. Are you fucking kidding me? This is great. Hang on a second, I've not got anything running that's eating up my bandwidth. I don't know why I bother some days. I don't know why I bother trying to gnaw through the straps. I really don't. Right, so I'm hoping that message was a false message for the time being. But let's see. Being set in somewhere, won't it? General. I'm guessing that'll be under data, won't it? Data connects. Can you do like a check or something? Yeah, I think that we might be alright. That warning might have been a false positive of something. Right, okay, so yeah, can't remember how the Garmin works at all. No idea. I know the autopilot button, so at least we should get some autopilot out of it, but I'm buggered if I remember how it all works. I did get it all up in the air once, but no idea. Do you know, once you know how to use it all, you know how to use it all, but sod it. Right, so luckily we've got loads of markers, so let's go. Let's just make sure we've got tick-off configuration, which we have. As I said, I have got the... At least this one moves. This one feels less twitchy on takeoff. It really does. It feels like really, really smooth. Honestly, feels much, much smoother on takeoff. We're going to lose our pitch there. It's kind of fine at the moment. We shouldn't be losing. One thing we shouldn't be losing is lift. So we don't want to do that. But so far so good. So we shouldn't be flying across runways either, but see, all of this is Sao Paulo, all of it. It's a huge city. And all the way out there is Interlagos, which is inside Sao Paulo. So, I'm guessing that beep beep beeping is some type of warning system. Oops. Probably switch to. I'm going to switch to. I know it takes out my voice, but I'm going to switch to outside view just for the moment, just so you can kind of get an idea of how big Sao Paulo is. It goes right the way over there, all the way over here, all the way over there. I mean, it's absolutely huge. And as you can tell, we're here on this side of it, and the track, which is still in the city, is 18 nautical miles away in the other direction. It's craziness. Now we might see if we can see the football stadiums. Going to see if we can see the football stadiums or anything. Should have probably put them in it as well. So that I'm an avid football stadium spotter. So I'm wondering if that's the first one over there. That's one of them. But it's unfortunately not rendered in game. That's one of them. Unfortunately, this might be the offline version of Sao Paulo, though. But I don't know, because it looks really good. We'll know when we fly over the track. It is fixed landing gear on this one, yeah. I think. It doesn't look like it should be, but it is. It doesn't look like it should be, does it? Oh yeah, it does. It does when you're looking it up close. So yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm really hoping that it hasn't just given us the offline mode and not even bothered trying to load in the map or anything, otherwise flying over this part, because this looks truly ugly and it doesn't look good. Now I know it's not all up to high spec, but this is, yeah, I don't think it's loaded it in. It's a fucking game, man. I had a feeling it was gonna, I don't know why, but before I even went live tonight, I had a feeling the game was gonna be a pain in the ass. And that I wasn't going to get to see the things I wanted to see, and I don't know why my talk's through the ceiling, but I don't care. I don't know why it's done it like this, or why it's not reconnected. Pain in the bastard backside. Yeah, that's what I want on. Right, okay. Okay, so if I turn them on, it should attempt to connect. So I've got a whirling thing. So let's just see if stuff starts popping in. I saw one building pop in there. Try and keep it on course. Do one more double check. Might take a while to. This is the thing. It might take a while to actually download it. Yep, we'll see. Yeah, this started popping in, didn't it? Still doesn't look great though. Look at how huge this city is. Look at all these tower blocks. Is it loading in now? It's It's definitely loading something in, yep. Okay, so it might actually start working now. Stuff's definitely popping in quickly. Well, not quickly, but in 11 nautical miles it should pop in well enough. You can see, look at all of these kind of high-rise buildings and everything over here. Yeah, I'm getting frame rate issues here because it's trying to load everything else. It normally does this before you arrive and then it loads ahead. So at least we know it's working anyway. We'll just let it do its magic for the time being. Ah, okay, so here's the autopilot stuff here. We've got vertical speed, altitude. Okay, so it all works pretty much like everything else. We've got the nav button here, which I can, if I put the autopilot on, the nav should take us in. Well, it's gonna go mental for a second, but let it go mental as it tries to connect to the line. It's gonna do another mental change to the left. I am gonna try and set the altitude to not to -700. Try and set it maybe more to a nice 5,000. Okay, let's go 5,000. So I have to try and pull back on that a little bit. Do a flight level change. And then that should take us down towards the track now. I am starting to see the track now. So I kind of see the outline of it and whatnot, but we'll see how. Didn't know it was next to it. Never knew it was next to a lake. It's quite interesting. I'm just gonna keep an eye out for one of the football stadiums if I can. Can't quite see any. Can't remember the name of the one in Sao Paulo. But no, I'm not seeing it. Well, that part still hasn't loaded in yet. Strange that a couple of parts haven't really. It might actually just be that they're so dense that it does what it can. I don't know. But absolutely huge. Ah, there's one of the football stadiums over there. This is a pit straight here, and this building is definitely there in real life. This block of flats here. When you come up this final corner here to the main pit straight, you see this one. You definitely see that block of flats. Definitely. You see it on the right hand side every time. That's pretty cool. It's not perfect photo detail, but and it's not a high-res photo, so unfortunately, yeah, that's definitely Interlagos. So now we'll be making a turn to kind of go back the way we came. The city's looking a bit prettier now. For some reason that part still hasn't loaded in, but it could be the actual, looking at the line here, the big maps might not be a good version of it, because that looks like a very straight line there where it hasn't captured it correctly. There you go. back in the we can go back in the cockpit now as we make our little turn. I'll just put the engines up a little bit. I think we're losing, heading towards stall speed there, I think. But the flight level change still hasn't actually lost us many feet, and this is why I don't like the flight level change button, because it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It's actually climbing, which I didn't realise. It's actually climbing rather than so we're going back towards the city centre again, but then it'll make a right turn here. So I take this off here and plug it into my phone. Hopefully my phone's not going to go ape shit here. Sometimes does. No, okay, that's good news. Oh, did it freeze the game though? Might have frozen the game. Fingers crossed it didn't. Game has frozen. You know what? If it's frozen, it gives me a reason to switch games, because it's actually pissing me off here. But no, damn it! It came back as soon as I said that. As soon as I said it's a reason to switch games. So, oh, I didn't know about these lights and stuff. Okay, I could probably one day teach myself a little bit about this plane. Seem to have got the autopilot working okay. So the brightness thing's pretty cool. You can change it on everything if you were to be so inclined. And the sound of it on board is strange. It sounds like you're setting a massive air conditioning unit. So let me just see on my map roughly where we are in the flight itself. Why is that jumped back over there? I'll never know. Just pull out a little bit and see. Well, do you know what? We're gonna stick with it and go see Jesus. Might as well. Now it's starting to load in now. Other parts of the city that weren't there before. So there's still a little bit that it hasn't loaded in yet, but huge city. It's a metropolis. I mean, the size of it. Mexico City is supposed to be bigger. Right, so there's one of the football stadiums as well. I think there's 3 or 4 teams in Sao Paulo. Oh, looks like it could be another one there, but I mean unfortunately it's all just photo data, it's not. Hey Super X, how are you doing? Welcome in. torque up a little bit more. And I think we're gonna try and get it. We're not using ATC or anything, so I think we're gonna take not the altitude, the vertical speed, and we're gonna go up a little bit. Let's say to 15,000 for the time being, and then we'll come down as we get into Rio. Right, well, 16,000 I think so we're going to go up to... I don't know what the climb speed is of this, so I'm going to take it very easily and say 1,100, because I actually don't know what it is. Don't know if it's written on the handles or anything. Dynamic? No, it's not. So... Beacon's on, isn't it? Yeah, turn on. Well, landing lights. What are we at? Landing lights should probably be off. 10,000. Actually, I don't know what the thing is in Brazil. I don't know if it's 12 or what. Oh, that's definitely one of the football stadiums down there. Don't know which one, but definitely. It's not the big one. The big one is... I thought it had been easy to spot. But apparently not. But it is huge, so... But it could be anywhere. It could be out here. You just don't know. Yeah, it's definitely a football stadium. I wonder if that one's Botafogo's. I haven't got a great memory, to be honest. I'll just check. No, because Botafogo's in Rio de Janeiro, so it's not possible. I'm going to keep my football eyes open. Not Botafogo, Corinthians. I think that's the Corinthians stadium. Because they got some money invested in them not so long ago, and I know that they built a new stadium. So I'm guessing that's the Corinthians one. But I'm looking for... Oh, it could be Palmeiras, actually. But I was looking for the Sao Paulo stadium because it's massive. I'm just going to see if I can find where it is on a map. The Morumbi holds 96,000 people. We're nearly leaving the city now, so... Oh, unfortunately it's the other side. Of course it is, it's the other side of Sao Paulo. Yeah, so the other side of Sao Paulo, unfortunately. So I don't know. Couldn't see. But it's right the way back, so somewhere by the looks of it on the map, somewhere over here. In theory, you should still see. You should still be able to see it in the burnt-in map, but it's not far from the river. That could be it there. That very well could be it there. It's like a big circle. So I think that's where it would be. But thought that was something swimming pool there. These look like a couple of mines, don't they? Blown around a bit by the looks of it, or is it just the autopilot? We won't be able to see. Well, I don't know in Rio. It's probably easier to see. In Sao Paulo, it doesn't look like the geometry is good enough. Also, to see a favela properly, it's probably going to be difficult because of the fact that I don't know if they've got favelas like style housing built into the simulator, so we'd be able to fly over them. And they're much easier to spot in Rio because you've kind of got the rich part of Rio and then the favelas. And if I remember rightly, but again, they're just underneath one of the huge rocks in Rio, so we'll probably get a good view of them. Do you know what? Rather than actually, I'm gonna go back to the main menu, people, and I'm gonna take the TBM again, just for the simple reason that I want to feel, I want to feel like I can fly it around and actually see it. So we'll take off from Rio, we'll go around that way, and I'll use the TBM just because I feel like I can control it and fly it better than this other one. Not too. Didn't say it was going to like 190 odd or 170 odd nautical miles to Rio, so it was going to take a while to get there anyway. But yeah, let's we'll take off from this one. Set as departure. Oh, I can see the Cathedral of Rio as well. So we want to kind of be going southbound. Can you set the same airport as an arrival? I don't know. Or maybe just a different airport for an arrival. And then we don't have to worry too much about it. So we'll do it as a VFR. We're going to take off from whichever the active runway is. And then we know we're not going to have any problems with it. So let's close that. And we'll just fly it. I think regular time of day. Just check the time of day. 5:02 p.m. I'll just pull it back a little bit. So we know we're mid-afternoon. See if that, hopefully we don't get that data cut-off thing again. At least if we do, I know how to reset it. Oh, pull my engines back. And then I'll show you how to do this wing leveler and everything. That's the cool thing about this plane. All it needs is an auto throttle. That's all it needs. It's not that it's difficult. It's just that you sometimes you want to be able to just. That's what they do when they're up in the sky. They set the autopilot, and you're not always zigzagging around. But I don't mind flying in and out of some buildings. Let's see if we can do that. Take a whiz around. There is a guy. I don't know if he's Spanish or Brazilian. I can't remember, but he does some videos in like military fighters flying around various cities. Did a really good one in New York, flying around New York. And the US is getting an update on something like the 23rd of November. It's not long away at all. Yes,
Ineffectual Alchemist Niner 7
the
cleared for takeoff runway.
United States is getting an upgrade. So I don't think the United States needs an upgrade, but it's getting one. Okay, so we'll take off the just quickly set ourselves up for everything. Okay, so yeah, we are gonna take off. I didn't set it as a bloody thing, did I? Right, so we should be heading on a left turn. Okay. Just set the speed bumps. So I can see them. See, this other plane did not do that. It didn't just roll off to the left automatically. Like, this one always seems to want to do it. B1. Rotate, and as I said, I didn't do anything there. This plane automatically rotates. The landing gear. Bring up the flaps. We're going to start that left turn. We shouldn't do this over the airport, but we will. So what I can actually do here is I can do this, and there's this button here. Can you see it? So at 1,300 feet, I click that, and it snaps us into place. So we are now just going to continue on level flight, this altitude, maybe gaining a little bit here and losing a little bit there. But that's all you do, and I like that. I think it's a great setting, particularly on this plane. So you just do that and that's it. It sends you in that line. So anytime you need to make a change, just turn it off, make your adjustment, put it in place again, and it will put you at level flight, which is so cool. Such a good such a cool addition. So I am going to pull right back here on this.
Ineffectual Alchemist Niner 7, you are leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
So I'm just going to acknowledge that, because she'll
Galileo
leave me
Tower
alone.
Ineffectual Gamer Niner 7 frequency change.
So I'll take off the leveler for a second, just make a little bit of a turn, and I'm guessing trying to look for the favelas one first, because I was just looking at it. Ah, so they'll be here. So this is kind of the rich part. This is the part of Sao Paulo where all the rich people live. I'm actually going to do an auto pause on this, people, just so we can get a bit of a better look. Now I'm not promising much, because I don't think Rio is one of the like really well looked after cities, if you know what I mean. So I don't think it's got a lot of information. One of the first things that tells me that is there's not a lot of information on my map. And if there's not a lot of information on my map, that means the game's probably not too great. So we'll click that leveler again. So you'll see it'll just kick the plane into this level flight thing. So I'm going to do an active pause so we can actually look at Christ the Redeemer, and then we'll come back and do it, okay? So we'll go out, we'll go insert, and we can. And let me just change the settings. I forgot what the settings for faster were. Oh, that's definitely for slower. So must be that one for faster. Oh no, what have I done? Why have I got it stuck? down a fat tap. Or is it that one? It could be that one actually. That's really slow though. Second. Oh, shite. What have I done there? Am I unlocked? I've managed to F up my controls now. No, I haven't. Oh, why is it doing that? That's weird. No! Come on. I don't know why, but it's managed to mess up something in my controls, and I don't know why it's doing that. It shouldn't do that. This should go. Should tip. Don't know what button I pushed to break this. I really don't know what button I've pushed to break it, for God's sake. Only I can do this. Right, let's just continue on for a short while. Actually, I know what mistake I might have made there. So that's the one, and that's the one. Okay, have I fixed it? No, I'm still fixed to the airplane for no apparent reason. Alright, I can do it in reverse. What is this game on? I can do it in some really strange reverse way. It'll work. What it's done is it pinned itself to the aircraft, and I didn't want it to pin itself to the aircraft. So I have to do this really fucking weird moves to get it to work. Anywho. I kind of know where the Christ Redeemer is, roughly. So what we're seeing here is this is actually the favelas here. Well, this is part of them. There's another part just over here. So we're just going to push forward to Christ the Redeemer here. So just like sound like a psychotic weed whacker. Okay. I can't go around him and go around, like spin around and stuff like that. I actually, do you know what? I thought they'd done it better than this. I know there's a dodgy looking building there, but I honestly thought they'd put the full building in. So I did have a feeling that Leon wasn't as good as they made out. So I'm gonna take off the active pause. That one. And we're gonna kinda take a fly up around it. So yeah, you can't really see the favelas in the way that I was doing it there, unfortunately, because it's done something to the active cam. I'm gonna try and do a low fly over the favelas. So yeah, the favelas are kind of on this hill here, like all of this here, but it's not, they don't even really drop in. So if I do an active pause here, and actually adjust the camera, you can can see that it's all like little shanty buildings, but I'll continue on and see if it actually gives us on the other side. The thing that's always surprised me about the favelas is how close they are to like really nice buildings. You kind of have areas where the rich are looking out onto the poor. This will be a favela area as well here, definitely. Just tell by the way everything's stacked on top of each other. But the game doesn't know this, so it just puts in generic buildings. Unfortunately for us players. I never realised there was like mountains near Rio de Janeiro. Never even thought about it for a second. Train station there, main train station. Tell by all the different parts leading in. So yeah, Brazil's obviously going to have to get an update because you can see that parts of this are just really bad generic buildings. They're not. They've put certain in, like it says, the Metropolitan Cathedral of Rio de Janeiro. But you know that a lot of the base places in the game are really badly done. I mean, Washington DC, which we can probably go see next because I actually have a better way of viewing Washington DC. I haven't got the. I'm going to go just back to the main menu and load up Washington DC. I haven't got the base version of Washington DC. I've actually got a modded version of Washington DC which somebody made. But the strange thing about Washington is they didn't put the White House in. They didn't put any of the main monuments in, but they put the Pentagon in. So I don't know why they did that. I don't know if maybe they didn't have access. Oh, there's some legality thing there. It was really, really strange, but I'll show you anyway. Washington. So we don't want Washington State. We want Ronald Reagan International Airport. Okay, so because it's so close to, but we're actually taking this one. And it's not a real this is not a real runway, okay, just so you know. This is a modded runway. And we're going to take, if we can find it, we'll take the icon if we can find it. The icon's just easy for these types of local things because it's slow. And you can use the throttle for the pitch really easily, so right, let's close that up. So we got the icon, we got takeoff. Okay, we don't need an arrival airport either, and we'll go in the daytime. Just make sure I got my throttle back. It might take about a minute to load this in because it has got some scenery to load in. But the standard version of Washington that came with the game was a bit of an embarrassment, to be honest with you. I think some cities have got a really bad deal. I think London got a pretty bad deal as well. But I'm guessing the idea is that they want to work on it as time goes by. One thing which came out recently, I don't know exactly how true it is, but apparently the game came out way sooner than it should have, and it didn't come out sooner because of Microsoft or because of a Sobo. It came out sooner because the people who were testing it said it's good enough to play now. Like you can build and work on it. So Asobo apparently kind of the release was a bit earlier than they expected. And I tend to agree with that. There's definitely been issues with the game, which I think, as I've always said, the problem with gaming at the moment is that you buy a boxed version, and the boxed version immediately needs to be patched. But a boxed version of a game should work. Shouldn't ever need to be patched, in my opinion. Because you should be able to play it out of the box without internet connection, because we all have internet outages and stuff and whatnot. So you should be able to play it out of the box. And if there's glaring errors with the game outside the box, which a lot of games do now, like Cyberpunk 2077, if you were to play that outside the box without the day one patch, I bet it would not work at all. And this idea that everybody will just download the day one patch is, don't know, doesn't sit right with me. Right, here we go. So you can already see that some of the buildings have been upgraded, and they're not perfect renditions, I'm going to be honest. They're not perfect renditions of the buildings, but they are better than what comes out of the box. So let's see if we can't have a little bit of a look-see around. I'm going to see if the I know for a fact that it won't. Oh, it does. Okay, so we can do this without even taking off, which is pretty cool. And I'm trying to wonder which one makes it faster. I can't remember. Now, anybody who knows me knows I play The Division, so this is... I've forgotten its name now. I've forgotten its name. Aliscar, what building is this? Totally gone out my head. But anyway, this is the last main mission. You do the main mission outside here in the Division 2, which is pretty cool. That's where the big crashed airplane is, the Air Force One. This is some botanical gardens here. So the person's built these, but again, very basic. You know, these buildings are. I mean, these ones aren't too bad actually. You've got the Museum of Art here. This is the Museum of Art. This one is... That one's not the Natural History Museum, that's a different one. Can't remember now. Don't know this one. I think that's a Natural History Museum. And then of course we have the Capitol building, that's it. Thanks very much, Aliscar, because I just couldn't get the bloody word out there. Aliscar can probably tell you what all the buildings are. And some of the buildings I don't actually know, because this one doesn't appear in the Division. For some strange reason. And I really don't know why, because it probably should. So I might have to go back and check it, because it definitely should. The FBI building... I should be able to do this, you know. The FBI building is... It's generic, isn't it? It isn't actually. They haven't put it in. Oh no, it's that one. Yeah, but it's generic. That's the FBI building. That's where the FBI operate out of, and it's a bit taller than that as well. But again, some of this is generic. Unfortunately, this one's generic as well. There's the White House. So we have a nice version of the White House, although I don't know where the fences end and the White House begins and stuff. But that's the White House. This is kind of the main view that we're used to seeing from the news and stuff like that. And I never thought about it before, but we often see the White House from this position as well in the news. So this is the Washington Monument. I think that's its correct name. We'll go have a look at the Lincoln Memorial in a moment, because I don't know how well it's been modded. This, I don't know what this is. Alescar might be able to chime in with that one as well. It's got a statue of somebody inside, but I can't control this in the right way that it's gonna. But it's a cutout by the looks of it. Let's go back over to where the Lincoln Memorial is, because I think they've done the Lincoln Memorial quite well. I don't know what this is. All these things have been modded in on purpose because they obviously have some significance, but I've never been to Washington, and the only Washington I've ever visited is in the Division 2, so... But this is pretty cool because Washington is in there. You can, sorry, Lincoln is in there in the Lincoln Memorial, so... The only thing is they haven't put the Bill of Rights... Is it the Bill of Rights? Is that the right on the wall? That's written on the wall, or etched on the wall, should I say? And I've always wondered, because in movies and TV shows, this is always quite empty. And I've always wondered if in real life it is empty or whether it's absolutely packed. Because in theory, it should be packed, shouldn't it? This is the arena. I've forgotten its name. Like, it's an arena where I don't think they do any sports in there. I think it's all like arts and stuff like that. This is the Watergate building. Took me a while to get the name. This is the Watergate building here. I don't know what, I've forgotten the name of this island. It's one of the missions in Division 2 as well. I'm going to check some stuff over here in a second, because I think that these buildings, these generic buildings here, aren't right. Because there should be like the older part. Well, actually no, this is it, isn't it? So this is... Why is my brain not working properly today? Georgetown. This is Georgetown, I do believe. Or the edges of Georgetown. Yes. Yes, that would be Georgetown. That's in the Division as well. I'm just trying to see. Parts of it are not, parts of it are. It's really weird. Because it is a 1-to-1 scale in the Division. So I don't know why I don't recognise. I should be able to recognise nearly everything. I know it's a bombed out and depleted version of Washington, but I think they've definitely taken some liberties and removed some buildings from the game. I'm sure of it. Some of these buildings I don't recognise. But even down to that, that's in the Division, because it's one of the control checkpoints. And so's this. It's really weird. It is a bank in reality, but in the Division this is a control checkpoint as well. Oh, let's go, look at that. Bet you're loving that. It's been put in the game. Don't know when that got put in the game. He's going to be calling me all the names under the sun now. Okay, so the other checkpoint is there. I'm not going to, like... The convention centre, that's it, convention centre, you're right. And when you're right, you're right. That's in the Division 2 as well, that bit of land there. I think it's a park in reality. Well, I'm going to stop boring everybody with my Division 2 stuff, but it's just how I see the different places, how I spot them. Which may, hang on, just so I know. I want to go there, along here. Yeah, because that's recognisable, that's recognisable. But as you go along this road, there should be a park kind of at the side of the road, and there isn't. So in the game they do take some liberties, and I didn't realise that they had in so many ways. Some of these are really not like they are. I'll have to double check some of them, how they're laid out in the game, but or I'm on the wrong street, but I don't think I am. No, I don't think I am. Where's the other big sports centre thing? Well, anyway, I'm not gonna. And then if you go over the river, so I'll just go over the river. The Pentagon's in the game. So when I was saying that I wasn't sure why, I don't know why the Pentagon's in the game. And there's a really funny story I heard about this, and this is absolute true story. Okay, so you see this building in the center of the Pentagon. I think it was the Russians. I'm tempted to say Chinese, but I actually think it was the Russians. They had a spy satellite which was basically over the top of the Pentagon and taking photographs every day. And what they noticed is that hundreds and hundreds of people were going inside this building here. So the top advisors had this idea that there was a lift that took people down underground, and the Pentagon was actually like a huge underground base as well. What they hadn't taken into consideration is that a lot of Americans have a penchant for hot dogs, and there's basically a hot dog stand in there. And it was just people going to get their daily hot dog, but so many people were going to daily or weekly. So many people were going there to get hot dogs that the Russians actually thought that it was this. There was this lift that took people down to a huge underground base. You live and learn. Every day a little bit more. So yeah, so the Pentagon's in the game, but the rest of Washington got left out. Now I'm sure in the new update, Washington probably gets a nice big spruce up, and I'll be able to take this mod off, because although I'm not going to knock anybody who does mods, because I think people who mod games are amazing people, because a lot of these mods take a lot of time, a lot of effort. This is handcrafted, so you know it did take a lot of effort by somebody. So I'm not going to knock it and say it's worthless. I just don't like the colouring of the buildings and stuff, because they stand out way too much for my liking. Oh, that's the campus as well. So that's the not the campus. That's the university, which is in the division as well. So yes, I mean I think they've done an amazing job, and if you want to download it, you can find it at fly2.net or something. Jefferson Memorial, not Washington Memorial. Okay. That's the ellipse. I don't know what's actually on the ellipse. I'm supposing the ellipse is kind of where you'd go maybe buy a lot of tat. I would suppose, because I'm guessing this road here is where it's fenced off. You know, you always see that long shot of the White House with the fence. I'm guessing it's this road here, because it looks like this is where your kind of security posts are for cars that are going in. So that would be my assumption. And then I think the helicopter like lands here, so I can't imagine people are allowed in this part. It seems a bit too close to be allowed. Although at the back, people can walk along here. They can't drive. You used to be able to drive along here, but you can't drive along here now. Post 9/11, you can only walk along it. It's all been blocked off, but you can walk along here and look outside as well. But there's here in the photo, you see, like I'm sure that must be cars. It looks like cars, but I can't imagine there's cars there just parked up. Can't imagine it. So anyway, yeah, that's the Washington DC add-on. This one here, I'm at a real loss for what these buildings are because they've been. No, actually, they haven't been modded in. They are generic. 100% they're generic. That's why they look so odd. So what this game does sometimes is it tries to add buildings in. So for example, this one, it saw on the map or on the 3D map that this building had windows, so it puts windows on it. And this one, for whatever reason, because I don't actually know what's there, it couldn't see it, so it just makes these like weird warehouse things. The reason I know this because it does it with my town. It makes my town like one big warehouse, which is a bit crappy, but it works. I'm guessing that's the Air and Space Museum there. I'm guessing one of these parts. I don't know exactly where though. I'm trying to see any other buildings that might be non-generic, but I can't. There's that one actually. I have no idea what it is. Ah, that's a train station. Okay, so that's been modded in, definitely. Definitely that one. That's the mistake by the AI. But this is where it all needs to be. This way it all needs to be worked on and everything, because like I said, it's the capital city of the United States of America. You'd think that it would have had at least a little bit of handcrafted work done to it and not just the Pentagon. In the base version, the Jefferson Memorial is just when you was in Jefferson Memorial, did you mean this one, Elazgar? So I don't know if you're still watching, but I'm thinking you might have meant that one, not this. This is the Washington Monument. This is a block of flats in the base game. Just a big block of flats. It's a bit embarrassing, but it is what it is. And then if we go finally down here, we'll see our little plane, the icon. I always say icon. Got locked up. In all honesty, it's not a bad little plane. So, it's not a bad little plane at all. I haven't used it in Yonks because it flies so slowly. But for any local stuff that you're trying to like look at your house and stuff, this is the aeroplane for it. And quite a safe aeroplane as well, this, because the landing speed is so slow. I think the landing speed's like 40 knots or something, which is just, I mean, ridiculously slow. So let's take it off here. See, this one isn't dragging left, right, or the other. This one's just going straight forward. Ah, we're gonna crash into the car! Take off speed. We'll make a slight turn here, just so we don't crash into anything. And yeah, this one you can kind of control its pitch with the throttle, which is really strange, and it has a little angle of attack thing on it as well, which allows you to kind of work out what your angle of attack is, which is all pretty cool as well. Well, and for sightseeing, it's not as slow as I made out, actually. It's not that slow. For sightseeing, it's quite fast if you're doing local sightseeing. To land in Washington International. I'm coming in at a heck of a pace, but if I get it lined up, I should be able to bleed that speed off quite easily. Once we pull the nose up a little bit. Okay, there we'll bring her in. I'll bleed off some of that speed. Wow, this is so much easier to land than that other one. He says drifting. Try and get him a bit more back in the centre, try and bleed off a bit more of that speed, but oh, this is a dream to land. Came in and landed a bit too hard there, but alright, see you later Super X, thanks for joining in, thanks for dropping by. And see you again soon, okay? Tonight's just a kind of free flight thing, so I wasn't doing anything too serious. Illegal landing there, because we didn't get permission or anything, but that was just that an EasyJet? The hell's an EasyJet doing in Washington? Shouldn't be there. But hopefully somebody's going to release a pack eventually that that puts the aircraft in the correct airports. We're just going to come to park up to this gate here. Well, this thing shifts on the ground. I'll give it that much. It can shift on the ground. But this one, I have still never once worked out how to turn the engine off. I'm going to have a quick look here. You can turn off the battery master switch, but that isn't... Ah, there you go. Why did I never know that before? I must have known that before. Do I have a problem starting it or something? Yeah, I don't know. Well, it was a long time ago, and maybe I didn't know where everything was, but I can't believe I didn't know how to switch the engine off. So that's pretty much like a car. Okay. Cool. Go to the main menu. Okay, people, I am going to call it an end to the stream for tonight. Because I've kind of... it's been about 2.5 hours now. No, nearly 3 hours actually tonight. I thought it was 2.5. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of get out and get about a little bit in this stream tonight. I didn't have anything specific lined up. But gonna probably be back on Sunday, do a stream. I think we're gonna switch it up a bit from what I've been doing recently. So be sure to come by. It might be an old favourite or something like that. We'll see, okay? But I want to wish everybody a really good Friday night, and enjoy the beginning of your weekend. And I'll see you at the end of your weekend. Okay. Alright, 9-7 people.